Life has a peculiar way of surprising us when we least expect it. One moment we think we have everything figured out, and the next moment we find ourselves standing at the crossroads of uncertainty, wondering which path to take. This is the beautiful paradox of human existence. The more we try to control our circumstances, the more we realize that true wisdom lies in embracing the unpredictable nature of life itself. When major changes sweep through our lives like a powerful river, touching every aspect of our existence, our work, our homes, our relationships, we often find ourselves clinging to the illusion that careful planning and meticulous analysis will guarantee favorable outcomes. We scrutinize every detail, weigh every possibility, and construct elaborate mental maps of what lies ahead. Yet despite our best efforts to predict and prepare, life continues to unfold in ways that surprise us, challenge us, and ultimately teach us profound lessons about the nature of existence. The Lotus Sutra reminds us that the true aspect of all phenomena reveals itself not through our attempts to control outcomes, but through our willingness to engage with life's inherent uncertainty. This teaching points to a fundamental truth. The excitement and vitality of human experience emerge precisely from the unknown, from the spaces between our plans and reality's unfolding. When we release our grip on specific outcomes, we open ourselves to possibilities we never could have imagined. This understanding becomes particularly relevant when we reflect on our past decisions and the mistakes that have shaped our journey. Looking back with honest eyes can be one of the most challenging yet transformative experiences we undertake. It requires us to ask ourselves difficult questions. Why did I choose that path? What values were guiding me at that moment? How did my actions affect others? These inquiries, while often painful, serve as gateways to deeper self-understanding and genuine growth. Nichiren Daishonin wrote, "When we look into our own mind at any moment, we perceive neither color nor form to verify that it exists. Yet we still cannot say it does not exist, for many differing thoughts continually occur." This profound observation illuminates the complex nature of self-examination. Our mind, the very instrument we use to reflect on our choices, remains mysterious even to ourselves. The thoughts, emotions, and motivations that drove our past decisions often seem foreign when viewed through the lens of our current understanding. The process of honest self-reflection reveals how dramatically we can change over time. Through spiritual practice and study, many people discover that their fundamental worldview has shifted so significantly that they barely recognize the person who made certain choices years or even months earlier. This transformation is not merely intellectual, but touches the very core of how we perceive ourselves and our place in the world. Buddhism teaches us that this capacity for change is one of our greatest strengths as human beings. The concept of human revolution emphasizes that we possess an unlimited potential for growth and transformation. No matter what mistakes we have made or how lost we may have felt, we always retain the ability to develop greater wisdom, courage, and compassion. This is not a theoretical possibility, but a practical reality that countless individuals have experienced through dedicated practice and study. When we examine our past through the clear lens of Buddhist understanding, we often recognize that many of our previous decisions arose from what Buddhism calls the three poisons: greed, anger, and ignorance. Greed might have manifested as an excessive desire for material success, status, or approval from others. Anger could have appeared as resentment, jealousy, or the need to prove ourselves right at any cost. Ignorance might have shown up as a failure to understand the interconnected nature of all life, leading us to pursue goals that ultimately caused harm to ourselves or others. The Buddha taught that recognizing these destructive tendencies is the first step toward liberation from them. In the Dhammapada, we find the teaching, "All things arise from mind. Mind is their chief, and they are mind-made." This insight helps us understand that our external circumstances often reflect our internal state of life. When we change our fundamental outlook and cultivate positive qualities within ourselves, our external world begins to transform as well. However, Acknowledging past mistakes does not mean drowning in guilt or regret. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility without becoming paralyzed by self-blame. The past exists as an unchangeable reality, but our relationship to that past remains fluid and subject to transformation. We cannot travel back in time to make different choices, but we can change how those experiences influence our present and future actions. Making amends becomes a crucial part of this healing process. When our past actions have caused pain to others, genuine efforts to repair that damage demonstrate our commitment to growth. This might involve direct apologies, change behavior, or finding ways to contribute positively to the lives of those we may have hurt. Sometimes the people we have wronged are no longer accessible to us, but we can still honor their experience by ensuring that we do not repeat similar harmful patterns with others. Nichiren Daishonin emphasized the power of sincere repentance combined with determined practice. He wrote, "Even if one makes a mistake, if one repents and prays earnestly, one's sin will be eradicated." This teaching does not suggest that mistakes disappear without consequence, but rather that genuine remorse combined with positive action can transform the meaning and impact of our past errors. The practice of honesty extends beyond our relationship with the past to encompass our present interactions with others. When we commit to speaking truthfully, acting with integrity, and acknowledging our limitations, we create space for authentic connection and mutual growth. This honesty requires tremendous courage because it makes us vulnerable to criticism and rejection. Yet this same vulnerability opens the door to genuine intimacy and understanding. Buddhist practice provides practical tools for cultivating this kind of courageous honesty. Through meditation, study, and community engagement, practitioners develop the inner strength necessary to face difficult truths about themselves and their circumstances. The daily practice of chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, for example, helps practitioners connect with their Buddha nature, the inherent wisdom and compassion that exists within every human being. As this inner transformation deepens, practitioners often notice significant changes in how they approach challenges and opportunities. Where they once might have reacted with fear, anger, or confusion, they begin to respond with greater clarity and compassion. This shift does not happen overnight, nor does it eliminate all future mistakes. Rather, it ensures that future errors arise from a fundamentally different place, rooted in good intentions and informed by hard-won wisdom. The Lotus Sutra teaches about the concept of eternal reformation, suggesting that the process of growth and change continues throughout our lives and beyond. This perspective helps us view our mistakes not as permanent stains on our character, but as opportunities for learning and development. Each error becomes a teacher, each challenge a chance to strengthen our resolve and deepen our understanding. This ongoing transformation affects not only how we see ourselves, but also how we understand our responsibility toward others. Buddhism emphasizes the interconnected nature of all existence, teaching that our individual actions ripple outward to influence countless other lives. When we truly grasp this truth, we naturally become more careful about our choices and more committed to acting in ways that benefit the larger community. The teaching of dependent origination helps us understand that nothing exists in isolation. Our happiness or suffering, success or failure, growth or stagnation all arise through complex webs of causes and conditions. This understanding frees us from the burden of believing we must control every aspect of our lives, while simultaneously inspiring us to take responsibility for the causes we create through our thoughts, words, and actions. As we navigate major life changes, this Buddhist perspective provides both comfort and guidance. Instead of approaching uncertainty with anxiety or resistance, we can learn to see transitions as natural expressions of life's dynamic nature. The job that ends, the relationship that transforms, the move to a new location. All of these changes offer opportunities to apply our growing wisdom and to discover new aspects of our potential. Nichiren Daishonin taught that winter always turns to spring, reminding us that difficult periods in our lives are temporary and often precede times of growth and renewal. This teaching does not minimize the real challenges we face, but encourages us to maintain hope and continue our efforts, even when outcomes remain unclear. The practice of Buddhism also teaches us to find meaning and purpose in our current circumstances, rather than constantly waiting for better conditions to emerge. While it is natural to work toward improvements in our situation, true happiness comes from our ability to create value regardless of external conditions. This might mean finding ways to serve others during our own time of transition, maintaining our spiritual practice when life feels chaotic, or simply bringing more patience and kindness to our daily interactions. When we look back on our spiritual journey, we often recognize that our most significant growth occurred during periods of uncertainty and change. The comfortable, predictable phases of life, while pleasant, rarely challenge us to develop new capacities or discover hidden strengths. It is in the midst of upheaval that we learn to access deeper levels of courage, wisdom, and compassion. The Buddha's own life exemplifies this principle. His spiritual awakening occurred only after he abandoned the comfortable certainty of his palace life and embraced the unknown path of seeking enlightenment. His journey involved numerous mistakes, false starts, and periods of doubt. Yet each of these experiences contributed to his ultimate understanding and his ability to teach others. Similarly, our own mistakes and uncertainties serve a valuable purpose in our spiritual development. They humble our ego, challenge our assumptions, and force us to dig deeper for solutions. Through this process, we develop genuine confidence, rooted not in the illusion of control, but in our proven ability to navigate challenges with grace and integrity. The cultivation of wisdom, courage, and compassion represents the ultimate goal of Buddhist practice. Wisdom allows us to see situations clearly, understanding both immediate circumstances and deeper patterns. Courage gives us the strength to act on our understanding, even when the path forward seems difficult or unclear. Compassion ensures that our actions benefit not only ourselves, but also contribute to the well-being of all life. These three qualities work together synergistically. Wisdom without courage remains merely intellectual understanding. Courage without compassion can become reckless or self-serving. Compassion without wisdom may lead to actions that ultimately cause more harm than good. When all three qualities develop in balance, they create a strong foundation for navigating life's challenges with grace and effectiveness. The process of developing these qualities requires patience and persistence. Buddhist texts often compare spiritual development to the gradual growth of a tree, which requires consistent care over long periods to reach full maturity. We cannot force rapid transformation, but we can create conditions that support steady growth through regular practice, study, and reflection. As we apply Buddhist principles to our daily lives, we begin to notice subtle but significant changes in our relationship to uncertainty. Where we once experienced anxiety about unknown outcomes, we start to feel curiosity and even excitement. Where we once felt overwhelmed by the complexity of major decisions, we begin to trust our growing wisdom to guide us toward beneficial choices. This transformation does not eliminate all stress or confusion from our lives. Rather, it provides us with tools and perspectives that help us engage with challenges more skillfully. We learn to distinguish between productive concern that motivates appropriate action and unproductive worry that drains our energy without solving problems. The practice also teaches us to appreciate the present moment more fully. When we are not constantly projecting into an uncertain future or rehashing past mistakes, we can engage more completely with current opportunities and relationships. This presence allows us to notice subtle changes in ourselves and our environment that might otherwise escape our attention. Buddhist teachings emphasize that enlightenment is not a distant goal to be achieved, but rather our natural state to be uncovered. Each moment of practice, each act of compassion, each honest self-reflection reveals more of our inherent Buddha nature. This understanding transforms our relationship to mistakes and challenges, helping us see them as opportunities to polish our inner mirror rather than evidence of our fundamental inadequacy. The concept of karma also provides a helpful framework for understanding the relationship between our past actions and current circumstances. Rather than viewing karma as a system of cosmic punishment and reward, Buddhism teaches that it represents the natural law of cause and effect operating in the moral sphere. Our current challenges often reflect the consequences of past choices, but they also offer opportunities to create more positive causes for future happiness. When we approach major life changes with this understanding, we can engage more proactively with our circumstances. Instead of feeling like victims of random events, we recognize our role in creating the conditions we now face. This recognition empowers us to take responsibility for moving forward in ways that will generate more positive outcomes. The community aspect of Buddhist practice provides crucial support during times of transition and uncertainty. When we surround ourselves with others who share our commitment to growth and service, we benefit from their encouragement, wisdom, and practical assistance. These relationships also give us opportunities to support others who may be facing their own challenges. Nichiren Daishonin emphasized the importance of faith, practice, and study as the three pillars of Buddhist development. Faith involves maintaining confidence in our Buddha nature and in the effectiveness of Buddhist practice, even when immediate results are not apparent. Practice refers to the daily activities that strengthen our spiritual foundation, including chanting, meditation, and acts of service. Study means engaging seriously with Buddhist teachings to deepen our understanding and refine our application of principles to daily life. During periods of major change, these three elements become especially important. Faith helps us maintain hope when outcomes remain unclear. Practice provides stability and strength when external circumstances feel chaotic. Study offers perspective and guidance for making wise decisions in unfamiliar territory. The integration of these elements creates a positive spiral of growth and transformation. As faith deepens through practice and study, our practice becomes more focused and effective. As practice strengthens our spiritual foundation, study becomes more meaningful and applicable. As study clarifies our understanding, faith becomes more grounded and mature. This integrated approach to spiritual development helps us maintain equilibrium during times of transition. Rather than being overwhelmed by change, we can use these periods as opportunities to accelerate our growth and deepen our practice. The challenges we face become materials for building stronger character and more refined wisdom. Looking toward the future, we can feel confident that whatever mistakes we make will arise from a fundamentally different place than our past errors. This confidence does not come from believing we will never make mistakes again, but from knowing that our intentions are becoming more pure and our understanding deeper. Future mistakes will serve as learning opportunities rather than sources of shame or regret. The Buddhist path offers a way of living that embraces both human limitation and human potential. It acknowledges that we will continue to face uncertainty, make errors, and encounter challenges throughout our lives. At the same time, it provides tools and perspectives that help us engage with these realities in ways that promote growth, service, and genuine happiness. As we continue to navigate the funny, surprising, challenging, and beautiful journey of human existence, we can draw strength from knowing that each step forward, each honest reflection, each act of compassion contributes to our ongoing transformation. The changes we experience, both internal and external, become part of a larger story of awakening that connects us to all beings who have walked this path before us and who will follow in the future. This understanding transforms even our most difficult experiences into sources of meaning and purpose. When we view our lives through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, we begin to see that everything, our mistakes, our achievements, our relationships, our challenges, serves the ultimate purpose of helping us develop our fullest potential as human beings. This perspective does not make difficulties disappear, but it helps us engage with them in ways that create value for ourselves and others. The journey continues, marked by ongoing change, continued growth, and the ever-deepening realization that life's uncertainty is not a problem to be solved, but a gift to be embraced. Through Buddhist practice and understanding, we learn to dance with this uncertainty, finding joy and meaning in the very elements of existence that once caused us fear and confusion. This is perhaps the greatest transformation of all, discovering that what we once saw as obstacles were actually doorways to wisdom, courage, and compassion.